Hey everyone, welcome back to the Passive Income MD podcast. My name is Peter Kim. Hope you've had an amazing week. I have a quick question for you. If the market dropped 20% tomorrow, would you be ready? Would your portfolio be ready? Would you be mentally ready? Would you be able to sleep well at night? Well, we haven't seen a really prolonged recession in over a decade. I mean, there was a small dip in COVID in 2020, and that was fast and wild, but it bounced back really, really quickly. Obviously, you've been watching the headlines and it feels like everything is going crazy or it's about to go crazy. So whether you're in stocks, whether you're in real estate or alternatives, this episode is about building resilience without the panic. So if you want to enjoy that, stay tuned. Welcome to the Passive Income MD podcast, where we talk about creating your ideal life through multiple streams of income. If you enjoy hearing about this stuff, make sure to hit subscribe. Now let's get on with the show. All right, everyone. Hope you've had another great week. Every week is a new adventure, at least in my world, dealing with my family, dealing with my parents, dealing with the businesses that I have, just life in general. I don't know if it feels like that for you, but it always feels nice to connect with the community on a weekly basis. I have a lot of other physicians that I connect with every single week, and having that community around me makes me feel stronger. It makes me feel grounded. If you don't have that, quick piece of advice, go find those people. And why that's important is, we're all just people at the end of the day. I mean, we're physicians. We've been trained to be just calculating and smart and calm during really tough situations. But outside of that, sometimes in our normal world, when the market seems like it's going up and down, when the housing market, you hear about some defaults or foreclosures or price drops or the interest rate goes up or some news about something political or geopolitical wars. Sometimes it feels like everything's going crazy and our mentality gets shifted. Well, I think it helps in situations like this to zoom out a little bit. Let's all realize that downturns are absolutely normal. When it comes to something called a market correction, and we all know that term, that actually means that there's a drop of like 10% or more. And just so you know, that happens once a year, every single year. And when you hear about bear markets, those bigger 20% dips, they show up every 5 to 6 years. So it happens. They're cyclical. They're normal. And if you're going to plan to invest overall for like 20, 30, 40 years, that means you're going to go through several of these cycles. So it's just a matter of if, not when. Now, I know many of us invest in real estate, and I love real estate as an investment vehicle. It just doesn't move as quickly up or down. But when it does adjust, the ripple effects also sometimes last for longer. I mean, that's what we're seeing right now in the multifamily or apartment space. Things that look good back in 2021 or very early 22 are now under a lot of pressure. These short-term loans that were taken out with variable rates right before the interest rates went up, we're seeing that it's really impacted the market. The value of these properties have definitely gone down significantly. It's almost impossible to refinance these deals. And some investors investing in these deals, or whether you have some of these apartment buildings yourself, you're going to have to put more cash into these deals to keep it going. So with all the stuff happening in the stock market, happening in the world today, things happening with real estate, like if you're feeling uneasy, let me know. Raise your hand right now, wherever you're at. I mean, just know you're not alone. I've been there too. People in our community are feeling that, but it's all about not panicking in this situation. It's about preparing, understanding where we're at and how to take advantage of this moment. Now, one of the biggest mistakes I see physicians make overall when it comes to all of their investments and their portfolio, it's just being too concentrated in one area. We all want to hit that one investment and it blows up and we're set for life. I get it. I mean, I totally understand that concept. For many of you, maybe you're investing everything or such a large portion of your portfolio in the stock market. Or maybe it's all into one or two real estate deals. Either way, that can put you on shaky ground. Just like when I talk about income sources and talk about having multiple sources of income, and that creates ultimate freedom for yourself because things go up and down and you can control it more. When it comes to your investment portfolio, you want diversification. And I'm talking about intentional, strategic diversification. And usually this starts with different asset classes. Like you want a mix of equities, like the stock market. You want bonds or some sort of fixed income investments. You want real estate. I believe you want active and passive. You want a reserve or a stockpile of cash. And you want alternatives in your portfolio, like whether it's private credit, gold, commodities, energy, something like that. And then when you zoom in even more, within each of those asset classes, there are more asset classes within each of them. For example, like real estate, we talk about apartment buildings, otherwise known as multifamily, self-storage, short-term rentals, assisted living, industrial, office, medical office space. And there's probably something that we don't always talk about is geographic diversification. We all know that real estate is local, meaning that one area of the country, one area of your city, one area in your neighborhood may be more valuable than another one or go up and down differently. So you want to spread across different markets. Now, I don't have time to talk about this all right now, maybe in a different podcast, but there's something called the all-weather portfolio. And you can apply that to your stock portfolio. This was created by someone named Ray Dalio. And he runs a huge hedge fund, one of the most successful hedge fund managers of all time. And he had this really simple idea. He thinks for the average person who doesn't have the time to really figure out how to do this on a professional level, he wanted to create a portfolio that would do well in all seasons. That's why he calls it the all-weather portfolio. Whether the economy is doing well, whether the economy is doing poorly, whether inflation is up, inflation is down, the stock unemployment is up or down. He thinks that if you create a mix of uncorrelated assets, meaning that assets that don't necessarily go up and down with each other, if you can put enough of those together, then you can create these smooth returns over time that will not only continue to give you returns, but mitigate your downside, that will protect your future and give you peace of mind and allow you to sleep at the end of the day.
Joining a mastermind group was a pivotal moment in my life. Within the first year, my income tripled, and by year 4, it had increased 20-fold. But the benefits went far beyond financial gains. I found myself surrounded by a network of like-minded individuals, forming connections that would become lifelong friendships. And the collective wisdom and support from this community played a crucial role in my success and personal development. From these amazing experiences, I felt a strong desire to create a similar community for my colleagues and peers, and that's you. That's why I launched Momentum MD Mastermind. People have been asking what this is. Momentum MD, or MMD for short, is designed to offer the same transformational powers in both personal and professional growth that I've experienced. It's not just about increasing your income. It's about creating this amazing environment where you can thrive, learn, and grow alongside other ambitious and supportive like-minded individuals. MMD provides a space where members can share their challenges, celebrate their victories, and push each other and keep each other accountable to reach new heights. It's about building a network of professionals who are committed to helping each other succeed. We focus on actionable strategies, accountability, and fostering an environment of continuous improvement. So whether you're looking to advance in your career, start a new venture, or simply find more balance and fulfillment in your life, MMD is here to support you every step of the way. Now, if this resonates with you in some way and you're interested in learning more, we'd love to hear from you. To learn more about the Momentum MD Mastermind and to pre-apply for a call with us, please visit MomentumMD.com. Let's see how we can help elevate your life to the next level. There are limited spots, so don't wait. Take the first step towards your transformation today. You won't regret it.
Now let's talk about real estate in particular, because I think like many of you out there, I just love this asset class. It's done a lot for me for creating wealth, for creating income sources. But lately it's felt like it's been a little harder, especially in the apartment space. Like interest rates a few years ago rose, and it felt like the Fed was way too late in their response to dropping interest rates. And especially in the commercial real estate market, just so you know, it's very sensitive to interest rates. A lot of these loans aren't shorter term loans. You're not talking about these 30-year fixed loans that you might have for your house. In that time, when interest rates go up, people have challenges paying off their mortgages. Lenders get really tight. Operators or sponsors of these deals start to struggle. And that's when a lot of people get freaked out. They stop investing in that space. But actually, it should be the opposite. This is the time to actually figure out, how do I take advantage of this time? How do I stick to the fundamentals? And where is the opportunity? It kind of reminds me of that quote by Warren Buffett, who says, be fearful when others are greedy, and then greedy when others are fearful. You want to be a little bit contrarian to actually take advantage of what's about to happen. So when I talk about the fundamentals, I think it helps to start here. And I think you really can't go wrong with these when you think about real estate. Number one, think about cash flow first. In a market like this, there's definitely no appreciation, but when times are really good, everyone focuses on the appreciation, meaning that increase in value. You want to hit the home run. But the ones that create cash flow and has steady amount of cash flow will do well in good times and in bad. Like you want that real income month after month, because ultimately that's what changes your life. You want to underwrite conservatively. You want to stress test it a little bit. What if your rents drop 10%, 20%, 30%? What if your vacancies spike? What if interest rates go up by not just 1%, but 2% really rapidly? It may be a little extreme to go to the 5% that we saw in a year, which was unprecedented. But you want to underwrite conservatively, assuming that for a lot of the factors that make up a successful investment, try to see it as conservative as possible. And number three, you definitely want to vet who you're working with, your sponsors, your operators. Everybody looked good a couple of years ago. And if I'm completely honest, I was guilty of going with people that had the largest portfolios, that had the track record, had never lost investor capital. And I felt that could never happen again and I thought that would continue forever. And some of them actually were on shaky ground and have had some challenges. And I've learned a lot from that. I will say the good thing about this time is it shows actually who is able to operate. And the people that survive this are the people that you want to partner with. Now, I did mention a little bit about alternatives, so I'm going to touch on this real quick. What I mean by alternatives are everything that kind of slips into this other pile for me. Sometimes people put real estate in alternatives, but I feel like it's too much of a mainstream investment. That it should be paired with stocks and those kind of investments. And the alternatives are things like private credit, oil and gas, venture capital, even crypto. And I think crypto falls within that range as well. They don't move in sync with the stock market necessarily. There's definitely some fair level of risk there, but then there's tremendous upside for many of these investments. Of course, you got to do your due diligence here too. You don't want to throw away your money, but you're allocating a small portion of your portfolio to this and make sure that aligns with your long-term plan. But as I started this podcast with, you want to figure out ways to sleep well at night when it comes to your investments. You're working hard as is, you're stressed. There's a lot of stressful things to think about at work. Then you come home and what you want to do is you want to spend time with your family and your loved ones. And the last thing you want to do is stress out about your investments. Whether the market is going up or down, the economy is going whatever way, you know that your portfolio and your investment is helping you get closer to your goals in the long term. This is what helps me sleep at night. And this is what I've learned a lot from this period. Number one, liquidity. Liquidity means cash on hand or things that can be easily turned into cash on hand. And you want to probably have a robust 6 to 12 months. I've always felt that was important. A mix of cash, maybe some quick loans that you could pull from if worst case scenario. Make sure you know what all those sources are. And once you have that, you feel like you can weather a lot of downturns, especially if something happens to your day job. Next, I'm constantly working on my mindset. And it's funny because people say, why is your mindset important when it comes to investing? Are you coming from a place of scarcity? Are you making decisions out of fear? And that's the last thing you want to do. You want to come at it from a place of confidence, a place of strategy, where you know what you want to do and you feel like the outside market or world is actually working in your favor. Emotional investing never works out well. And this leads me to my third point, which is I surround myself with the right people. Community is so important. You want to stay connected to people who are learning, growing, and investing wisely. People who have done it, not people who just spit fear out there, but people who have actually been through times like this and have come out even stronger, even wealthier, even better on the other side. We have so many of those people in our community. Take the time to connect with them. You don't need to figure this out on your own. So are you recession ready? That's my question. If you're diversified, if you focus on cash flow and built all those things, the fundamentals to have a sense of resilience, the answer is yes. And that's where you want to get to. And if you're not quite there, that's okay too. You can start today. Start to think about these things. The small steps that you make right now will create momentum for you, will create stability for you down the line. Just so you know, if you want a little bit more help, we actually created a little free cheat sheet for you, the Physicians Recession-Resistant Investment Checklist. You can go ahead and download that either in the show notes or in the corresponding blog post. It'll allow you to stress test your portfolio and find some gaps and at least help you think through this. So go check that out. Obviously, we'd love for you to join one of our communities through either our Passive Real Estate Academy, which all our alumni become part of our investor club, or join one of our Facebook groups. Now, we're all figuring this out together. No one person has all the answers. And I promise it's a lot better when you make this a team sport and we're all smarter together. Thanks for taking the time to listen wherever you are today. Keep doing the amazing work you're doing. And let's talk again soon. Enjoy the show? Let me know by dropping a review in the podcast app you're listening to us in. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit subscribe. Join thousands of physicians who are also on this journey to creating their ideal lives through multiple streams of income. Learn more at our website, passiveincomemd.com. Thanks again for allowing me to be a part of your journey. See you next time.